What is up, guys? Slump here, and today I am bringing you guys my 2017 NBA draft top 5 winners. You know, the teams that had the best draft weeks in my opinion. And obviously I'm going to factor in trades because some teams did disappoint me, man. I'm pretty upset about some teams, so I might as well come out with a top 5 draft day losers video. And with that being said, guys, hope you enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like and most importantly subscribe if you enjoy. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Not only were the 76ers able to draft the best prospect in this draft, and the player with superstar potential in Markelle Fultz, but they were able to add depth into their already sound frontcourt with the additions of Australian Jonah Bolden and the future Kristaps and Anzels, whatever, okay? The 76ers were missing a point guard for so long, and it's finally great to see that Ben Simmons will have a running mate on the team. Although those two big men in the draft look like draft and stash players, just remember, trust the process. Watch Jonah Bolden and Anzels come out in 2019 and dominate. The future is looking real bright for the 76ers. Now, the team that had the second best draft in my opinion happens to be the Charlotte Hornets. Now, the draft for the Charlotte Hornets started on Tuesday when they were able to trade Dwight Howard for virtually nothing. The real win they got though comes from the 11th pick in the draft, aka Malik Monk, the best shooter in this draft and my 6th ranked prospect. If the Hornets move Batum to the 3 and start Monk this upcoming season, I could almost guarantee you that the Hornets are playoff bound. Now, the Mavericks didn't have a great plan headed into this draft, as many reports were claiming that Frank Ntilikina was their #1 choice, followed by Lauri Markkanen. Thankfully though, the Mavs were unfortunate and wound up with the 9th overall selection behind the incompetent front offices of the Chicago Bulls, fire Garpax by the way, and obviously the dude that claims he's a god, Phil Jackson. The Dallas Mavs wound up with my 4th ranked prospect and somebody that has MVP potential in Dennis Smith Jr. The only concerns about his game is that he takes plays off and that he has an awkward landing motion, so let's just hope he's a pre-ACL Derrick Rose his entire career. Next, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, with Minnesota, they shocked the world. And honestly, looking at that deal right now, I don't know what Chicago was thinking. The Minnesota Timberwolves already had 2 first-team potential players in Karl Anthony Towns, who deserved an all-team award this year, and Andrew Wiggins, a solid wing scorer who can play defense. It's just that he chooses not to. The Timberwolves added a top 15 player in Jimmy Butler, one of the best two-way players in the world. And the great thing for Minnesota is that his contract isn't expiring after this season. The Justin Patton signing was alright, but I honestly hope that the Timberwolves would have selected a stretch forward to pair up with Karl Anthony Towns. But regardless, guys, the Minnesota Timberwolves are back in the playoffs and they will be in the playoffs for years to come. Now, 5th and definitely least happens to be the Phoenix Suns. Well, let me just say this, it's good to see a team avoid a disaster in the NBA draft, and the Phoenix Suns did just that. Many reports before the draft believed that the Celtics selecting Josh Jackson would ultimately cause the Suns to go out on a limb and select Jonathan Isaac and run him at the small forward spot, but luckily, just like the Mavs, they avoided catastrophe. The Suns are known for having prolific scorers in players like Bledsoe and Booker and the young buck in Marquise Chris, but they need a defensive anchor and someone who can change their mentality and guard the opposing team's best player one-on-one most of the time. The Suns now have a young core of Jackson, Booker, Chris, Ulis, and Williams. Hopefully they can continue to add, because even with the addition of Jackson, they failed to take a solid center in this draft. So look out for one last tanking effort in order to land Mohamed Bamba or DeAndre Ayton, because we all know Alec Peters and Dragon Bender will not work out. So yeah, guys, that has been my top 5 winners from the 2017 NBA draft. I also forgot to mention that the Clippers really selected Chris Paul 2.0 and Michael Jordan 2.0 in the 2nd round last night. We about to be crazy next season. And with that being said, make sure to leave a like and most importantly subscribe. You have been watching Slump TV. Have a good one. Peace out.